อเชิญทุกท่านนะครับก่อนที่ถึงเวลาจะไปได้เร็วครับให้เราที่จะอธิษฐานด้วยกันนะครับก็เรียนเชิญNancy would you open pray please
Dear Lord, thank you so much that we have this new opportunity to have an English congregation at Thai Outreach Church. It's wonderful. Oh, Father, we just pray that your blessing upon us today, no matter how many come, it will be your appointed people to come today. May your blessing be with each person and with each person who leads, and may our worship to you be pleasing, Lord. Bless us. May we have a spirit of unity here today. In Jesus' name.
Amen. So we open the Bible, the Psalm 47, number 6. Psalm 47, number 6. And read together. Yeah, please come to sit down everyone. So, because the time runs very fast. So if we see it, we read together. 1, 2, 3. Sing, praise to God, sing praises, sing. Yeah, okay, we try again. Psalm 47, number 6. Ready? Try again. 1, 2, 3. Sing praises to God, sing praises unto our King, sing praises. Okay. So we sing the song together. Come now is the time to worship. So we sing together, okay? Still great. One day, every time we'll go, you are gone. One day, every knee will bow. Still the great.
Everything should revolve around God. A God-centered life means that everything in our lives should involve God and focus on Him. He is all that we are, all that we do, and all that we have, and we are able to be. So that is what I will share with you. So that is what I call it, God-centered life. The Bible verse that I like to use is found in John 12:23-25. Jesus replied, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. I tell you the truth, unless a kernel of wheat falls into ground and dies, it remains only a single seed, but if it dies, it produces many seeds. The man who loves his life will lose it, while the man who hates his life in this world will keep it for eternal life." So that is the Bible verse that Jesus was predicted, that he will die. And because of his death, it brings a lot of blessing, it brings a lot of new life to this world. So now we're going to different thoughts. The first one that I would like to share with you is that we are able to choose our life center. We have the right and we have the privilege. God gave us that privilege to choose. That is the blessing to me. You know, in the past, I thought about it. I said, how come if God knew that we were going to get into such mess in our life, why don't God just choose for us? He just make us to make something that we will not to get away from His paths and His way of life. How come He did not do that? But then I thought about it, that because He is God of freedom. He chooses everything Himself. And He's not bound into anyone's control. So I thought if He make man in His own image, if He make man like Himself, so that is the big issue of freedom. So man have that freedom. So God gives man the freedom to choose. You know, when I understood that, I feel so thankful that God did not make us as a robot, but He made us a free, chosen person. We can choose. So a lot of people, you know, choose what? Wealth, want to be rich. Okay? The picture you see, the picture is Abraham and Lot. Abraham and his nephew Lot. So you remember when Abraham and Lot have a lot of cattle. So they are workers fighting each other. So Abraham came to Lot, his nephew, said, come, let us agree so that our workers will not fight each other. You look out there, make your choice. So if you go to the east, I go to west. If you go to the south, I go to north. So Lot looked into the valley that, you know, the two big cities, you know, Gomorrah, say it again. Sodom and Gomorrah. So he saw it so beautiful and so advanced, so much fun, so much wealth. So he said, I choose that. I want to be around here. And Abraham said, okay, you choose this, I go choose go. But when you look where Abraham to go, desert, empty, nothing. Lot want to be wealthy, want to be rich, so he choose that. Okay, he choose that. He chooses the most important thing in his life, wealth and riches. How about us? What did we choose? Choose wealth and want to be rich? We all come to America to chase the American dream. One of the American dream, there are many components of American's dream. One is to be rich. To prove that you are Americans. American to be rich. Because when I went back to Thailand, all my relatives that, you are American now, you are rich now. Help us and give us money, give this, that. Boy, I have $2 in my pocket. They totally misunderstood. So that is why a lot of people come to America to get rich. So that's the problem, okay? So I don't know about you. I have been in America for about, 53 years now. Yeah, 53 years. I'm not rich at all. I'm not American. I'm not rich. So this morning, my wife and Carmen, we were talking. So one thing I said that I come to America to fulfill my dream, to be educated. Because when I was a kid, I always have that desire, have the dream that I want to be a highly educated person. I don't want to be ngo. I want to be educated. So that's why I came to America. I never thought about rich. All this year I never think that I want to be rich. No. I want to be educated. Because since I become Christian, one thing that I pray for God is wisdom. God, give me wisdom, how to live, how to do, how to work, and how to become a pastor, how to deal with the church, deal with people. So I want wisdom. So that is my, dream about coming to America. Okay, some people choose power. So a lot of people want power. Why? Because they feel like when they have power, they can control people. Every sector of the society, no matter you are the we'll call the any group of people, any context of working environment, you want to be a leader. You want to someone that have power to control. Even homeless people, you ask who is the leader, they'll tell you who is the leader. Some people want to control other people. So that is the heart of the people want to be controlling others. The Thai people always tell their children, get education. So when you got the education, you become the, what do you call it? เจ้านาย the lord of other people, so that you can be, top above other people, control other people. So that is part of our human desire. Want to be powerful. So that is most of them have chosen power to be the center of their lives. Position, And whenever you get into any institution or any group of people, you want to be the president, you want to be that, want to be this. Most people have that kind of desire. You come to America, you said, my dream is to be one day I can be the president of the United States of America. You want the position. You want the fame. Being someone who everyone knows. Wherever you go, people say hi to know you. And he said, do you know that guy? Oh, yeah, I know that guy. I know this and know that. So you want a famous person. So that is your choice, being your life center, your most important thing, knowledge, degrees. So many people come to America to gain a lot of degrees, But I have that dream, but I did not crazy about a lot of degrees. One of my friends, they have about 5 master degrees. I said, well, you want all these things? But 2 doctors and 6 masters. I said, why you want that? He said, it's challenging. Why? He said, it seems like America here get the master and doctor so easy. So I get everything I want. So he got 6 master degrees and a couple of doctorate degrees. Interesting. Some people feel like that is what their goal, what their purpose. How about love relationship? Some people come to the point that the most important thing is love, relationship. Girlfriend, boyfriend, lovers, that kind of relationship. Even myself, I feel like, relationship is the most important thing. But I was thinking the relationship is a godly relationship. It's a proper relationship. Relationship within the context of family, contact of husband and wife, parents and children, brother and sister in Christ. The relationship is very important in our human affair. So that is what, but a lot of people just emphasize the, not the agape love, but eros love, flesh, love that have a lot of baggage within the love relationship. How about self-interest? When I look at this word self-interest or personal goals, I'm thinking of three things that I always emphasize. Your interest of your being, who you are, what you are, and how you're going to express your true self, who you are. Is that your interest? You want to be someone? You want to be prime minister, you want to be, mayor of Los Angeles, or you want to be the head of the, any departments of the government. What is your interest? Or you want to be the CEO of any big companies? Or you want to be the richest man or woman in America? What is your purpose? What is your goal? What is your interest? How about what you want to have? What is your interest to have in life? I asked a lot of my Thai friends, are not Christian, they said when they come to America, they want to have what? They want to have a lot of education. They want to have a good family, good wife, good children, good husband. They want to have many big houses, and they want to have vacational houses. They want, boats, many cars, very expensive car and expensive vacations. They want many things so that make them fulfill as a person. Is that what each one of us look for? As Jesus said that if you gain the whole world but you lose your own life, what good is that for? I always thought that word, you gain the whole world but you lost your own soul. What good is that for you? Whenever I think I'm going to be rich or want that, I always reminded me that word. If you got those, how much different? I drove many kind of car. Not mine, but I drove some friend's car, Benz or Missouri, whatever it is, or the all kind of expensive car. But does it any different? I drove the Honda Go every day for many years. The same. Only thing that I wanted to take me from point A to point B. That's it. Reliable. Okay. So what we have, a lot of people think that if we have something that kind of boost our self-image. If we drive this expensive car, the people look at us, is this person somebody? Is that what we're thinking? No. But the world, yes, the world think that, this guy is somebody. He got an expensive kind of car. Oh, look at his house, his big house. He's somebody. But for us, we have to think, is that our most important thing in life? We have to think about it. Okay, and what we can. I always emphasize our being, who you are and what you have and what you can. Our ability. What can you do in your life? Whatever you want to do, what you can do, would you willing to put into it? Or do you put the capital in it and so that you can make yourself able to be that person and to do those things? It's kind of funny thing. Just last few months, because 2-3 years ago we were invited to China, went to Kunming, and so they want us to preach in Chinese. So I know speak in the general Chinese, I could speak it, but for preaching, no. So at first they said, we have people to translate your Thai or your English. So Ajahn Thila and I prepared Thai and English to. But when we got there, no one interpret, no interpreter, no one to interpret our preaching. So then they said, what are we going to do? He said, you have to preach in Chinese. I start to sweat. You have to preach in Chinese. I said, wow. So I said, I asked Ajahn Thira, I said, you go first. So Ajahn Thila went there, he just pulled out, we haven't preached, we haven't talked, we haven't speak Chinese for years. So he finished it, he pretty good. So come to my time, I went up there, my sweat just started to come. So I spoke one sentence, I stopped for 2-3 minutes, think what we're going to say next. I keep asking Ajahn Thila, I say, what are you going to say? Oh boy. You know what? After that, I come back, I got sick. So last couple of years, something that's special coming to my feeling. I said, I don't know how many years I have left in this world. I want to improve my Chinese. So I said, maybe another 3 to 5 years. If God allows me to preach in Chinese, I will. So that's why I want, anyone have a Chinese Bible, please give it to me. The big print, okay, big print. Give it to me. I'm serious. I am serious to one day, maybe another 5 years, I will preach in Chinese. I have some background, but it's not good at preaching. So I hope that one day I would do that, okay? And what you can, okay, choose something, and what is your goal? The second, spiritual eyes focus on God. You know, if we have a God-centered, the most important person, you have to think about that person. I remember there's a joke about the lover, you know. One of the lovers write a letter to her girlfriends, and he said, oh, I love you so much. I'm always thinking about you, and I dream about you, but we are living. But if you live in the other end of the ocean, I will swim over there to meet you there. If you live over the side of the mountain, I will climb the mountain over there to see you there. And on and on and on. The end, he said, if tomorrow it rains, we cancel our meeting. So that's why a lot of time our romantic imagination and our desire to love God, to care for God, to do all these things, but when come to reality, no action. Okay, so that's why that is what our relationship with God. Sometimes we are romanticized. We use the word, we use imagination, but when come to a reality, come to the fact, then we don't show our real self, okay? So, I want us to spiritual eyes focus on God. In what ways? One, focus with faith. We always keep the faith. We always have faith in God, that God is the one we have to base our faith upon. God's promise and God's words and God's revelation to us each time, okay? By faith. And then Paul said that I kept my faith. Now it's challenging. Many people lost their faith. The faith that they have from the beginning when they accept God, accept Jesus Christ into their life, but living a few more years when they face a lot of difficulties, problems, they lost their faith. So my challenge to all of you is that keep up with our faith. Don't lose it. Very important. Okay, so our eyes look up to Jesus, to God with faith, with hope. Always hope. The Bible, the first Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13 said, the left have three things: faith, hope, and love. Love is greatest. So our eyes focus in God with hope. While we are living right now, we hope that one day we'll be with Him. One day we'll be, in heaven with Him, live with Him. Our life and His life will be becoming one, not separate now, Our heart and our faith and our spirit with God, but our body now. But in the past, in the future, we'll be with God. Body, soul, and spirit be with Him. And with love. When we're thinking of faith, hope, and love, patience, and joy and gladness, who did I think of? I think of Joseph. That picture is put Joseph. Joseph in the pit, or in the, in the jail in Egypt. I studied the life of Joseph. He's so impressed. I really impressed his life. He never lose his faith. God gave him vision. He saw the vision when he was a teenager. He saw a vision that God said he'll be great. He'll be great. He'll be a leader. He'll be, have power, have, position, have everything. So he had faith and keep on those experiences that come to him, no matter how negative it was. But he always kept his faith. Always have faith in. So whenever people praised him and give him glory, give him, credit about his life, he did not take it for himself. He always said, because of his faith, because of his relationship with God, that God gave him that ability to do things. So his hope, he hoped that one day his vision, his dream will become reality. That's why he could say when his 10 or 11 brothers came and asked him to forgiveness, they were afraid that when their father died, that Joseph going to be punished in them. So they come and ask for forgiveness. He said that you don't know, people maybe have ill meaning, want to harm me, but God did not. But God have a better plan. And then he said that all this happened to me, not for me, but for my family, for you guys. So don't worry. Don't, blame yourself. He not only forgave them, but he pushed them up and put them up, said that this is what God wants to help you, to save you guys. So that is faith, hope, and love, and patience. Speaking of patience, Joseph had a lot of patience. He did not commit any sin, but he was blamed. He was blamed to be a bad guy, but he knew himself. I think this is very important. I try to study the secret of Joseph's be able to hold on his faith, his hope, and his love because of patience. He had patience. He said, no, I'm not going to give up. No, I'm not going to blame God. No, I'm not going to lose my faith, lose my hope, lose my love for God. So I think that's what I learned a lot from Joseph. So I want all of you to have that mentality. I want you to have that kind of a sense of being the children of God, being God's people. Always focus on God, not the situation, not what happened to me. Whatever happened to us, we just kind of look into the condition. We look at the situation, we look at events, and then we just lift up the event. We just focus on event, but not focus on God. I just challenge you that focus your eyes, your spiritual eye, focus upon God, that He has a lot of great things. The last one, focus on God with joy and with gladness. A lot of times we are willing to go through it. We are willing to endure all difficult situation, difficult time, but with that, anger, with that, blaming attitude, and have an easy feeling with God, with people, with other things. But that's why, the book of Philippians, Paul said that, rejoice. I said it again, rejoice in the Lord. Not in the situation, not in the condition, not in your health, not in your troubles or difficult times. Rejoice in the Lord. That is what here I challenge that. Many of us, we are passing 50 years old now. Yeah, all of us passing 50 now. Anyone that younger than 50? Yeah. We are 50 now, so we kind of know what life is all about. We go through so many tough times, difficult times. But one thing I would like to challenge you now, I'm practicing, I'm trying to go through all those things with joy and gladness. Not the condition, not the situation, not people, not anything else, but just focus in God, joy and gladness. And I learned that life is a process. Life is not something that, here, it comes, samret, finished. No, it's slowly process. That's what I learned all these 70-some years. Now I appreciate and I enjoy the process. As I said, nowadays when you go exercise, try to be healthy, exercise. Is fun? No. Every morning when I get up, I'm going to walk in the pool. When you get into the pool, but I learn now, I try to learn. Enjoy it. No matter what, you're going to walk. No matter what, you're going to get into the pool. So enjoy it. So I learned. And I learned how to process with joy and with gladness. Changing our attitude, changing our feeling. And then just do it. Okay. I always like that slogan of, Nikki. Just do it. The shoes, Nike, not Nikki, Nikes. Just do it, Okay, with joy and glad. Okay, the last one. Replace the old life with the new life. If you want to be God-centered life, you better change the old one. Okay? Old life is worldly. Live for the world. Try to think about, are we living now for the world or for God? Okay, if you want to change, if you want to have a God-centered life, you have to forsake your worldly life. Even now we are more easier to do that. Why? Because you look at your wrinkled hand, you look at your wrinkle, all these things, you say, I don't want it. Just get it over so easier. But when you're young, when you're handsome, when you're beautiful, it's harder. You still fall in love with yourself. You know, you want that. But now you're getting older now, so it's okay, you know. But a lot of time it's not that easy too, but do it, okay? Just do it. Just say, God, I want to live my old life, live my worldly life. Here, I want a new life. Then try not to live for your self-interest. Evaluate. What is your self-interest? You want this? You want that? You want, you know, what is important in your life? Is that worth it? You know, is that worth it? Evaluate and make the decision. Live for temporary happiness. You want to be happy now? That's it? Just a short-term happiness? But if you want to a new life, spiritual one, live for God. I think easier for us, the older people, to live for God much easier. So volunteer. Do a lot of things with God, with His people and His church. Live for the common good. Not to be selfish, because how much you can give it to yourself. I like the concept. No matter how rich you are, you eat one bowl of rice each time, right? You cannot eat too much. When you are older, you're richer, your appetite is not that good. I come to realize that when you get older, your appetite is gone. No matter how good, how delicious our food, you can't eat much. You know? So, don't be selfish. Try to live for common good for others. That's why, you know, what Jesus said, that love your neighbor as yourself, I think is so true. So when you have something you can share, you can give. Whatever you can do it. Because otherwise, not long, they'll be gone. Even we have the desire to do this, to do that for others, no chance. So now you have a chance. Do it. Okay? Last one, live for eternal purpose. Don't live it for temporary purpose. For eternal purpose. Because we are not worldly being, we are eternal being. We are not going to live this world in this world forever and ever, but we will live the eternal world with God forever and ever. So we have to focus our new life, a new goal, new purpose. That's what God centers life. Conclusion: Lot looked toward the world that was full of worldly things. The nephew of Abraham, Lot. But for Abraham, he only held unto God's promise. And he looked toward the promised land. Even though he had not seen it, he believed and hoped by trusting God. Through this comparison between Lot and Abraham, we can clearly see the benefit of a God-centered life. We center in God, we believe in God, we hang on with God's promise. Finally, eventually, whether we see it, we experience it, this life or not, but finally we will receive the blessing and that fulfillment of His promise to us. May God bless you. Let's say pray. Our Father, we thank you so much for this morning. We pray that your word will enter into our hearts and bear fruit. And so God, help us to live a God-centered life, not only for you, but for us as well. Thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay. More precious than silver. Lord, you are more precious than silver. Lord, you are more costly than gold. Lord, you are more beautiful than diamonds, and nothing I desire compare with you. Read it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lord, you are more precious than silver. Lord, you are more costly than gold. Lord, you are more beautiful than diamonds, and nothing I desire compare with you. Nothing I desire. Nothing I desire. Nothing I desire. Nothing I desire compare with you. So we pray together. Nancy, would you pray, please?
Dear Lord Jesus, thank you for this time together in your house. It helps us, it really helps us when we come together to focus on you, because you have the most important things for us. You prepared all that we need. You are everything that we could ever really want, and we don't even know it sometimes. Thank you that we can focus afresh on you. Give us spiritual eyes so that we can see the values that you have and not the things of the world. Father, inspire us this morning to go out and live a different life and to cry out to you to help us. In Jesus' name.